Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has just been announced, and does it look amazing? I can't wait to be able to play as any character in Smash Bros. History. So far, 83 stages have been confirmed. That leaves only about 35 previous Smash stages not in the game yet. However, not all the stages are fun to play on. So in this video, I'll be counting down the top 10 worst Super Smash Bros. 4 stages. Alright, so Smash 4 has a lot of great stages, so this one and the next one are just not as good, so I could fill up the list. Garden of Hope is a beautiful stage, and my only real problem with it is this crab thing that walks by every once in a while. If he gets removed, then this stage would be perfect. Wrecking Crew takes the number 9 spot. My main problem with it is how the stage can fall down. By destroying the walls, the floor above you will fall down. Sometimes a barrel will fall, and if you are in that barrel, you're basically dead. At least this stage is predictable when the layer above you will fall. If it wasn't, this would be much higher on the list. Orbital Gate Assault looks great, don't get me wrong, but in terms of fighting on it, the stage goes through several different sections, being the main ship, which is the most playable. Then it goes onto a missile, which you have to get off of before it explodes. And then on to R-Wings, which are impossible to fight on. They're way too small. This stage has a set order, which saves it from being too high on the list, but transforms so often, it is so hard to fight on, that I think it should make the list. While I think this stage is great for 8-player Smash, this stage does not work otherwise. This stage is pretty big, so it's easy to outrun and escape your opponent, but the main reason why this stage is not that great is the boss. He destroys half of the field and is very distracting and can take away from the fight. If the stage was downscaled just a little bit, and the boss was removed, this would be a really good stage. Not the best, but a lot better. Wily Castle would be such a great stage if it wasn't for one thing, the Yellow Devil. Even though the Yellow Devil is much smaller than the boss in Sour Plains, the Yellow Devil takes up much more of the stage since the stage is smaller. It passes through most of the stage, transitioning between attacks, and the fight becomes more about the Yellow Devil for most of the match, and in my opinion, that just isn't fun. If he was removed, this would be one of the best stages in Smash Bros. History, and I would argue probably competitive viable. Pyrosphere has the same problem as Wily Castle, the boss. Ridley is the boss of this stage and does way more damage and knockback than the Yellow Devil. However, the worst part is that whoever gets the last hit on him gets them on their team. In what way is that fair? At that point, the game is just about trying to get Ridley on your team. Also, as a side note, if this stage comes back in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, will this stage be fixed because Ridley can't be in it? Or will they just have someone else to take his place? I don't know. Just kind of a question I had, but I'm very curious on how to see how that would work. Palutena's Temple, the biggest stage in Smash Bros. History. That's exactly why it's on this list. It is near impossible to fight on and get kills on. Each little area feels so separated from the rest that they could probably each be their own stage. This stage is even too big for 8 players. The screen zooms out way too much, it could be nearly impossible to see what you're doing. It's just not a fun stage to play on, especially on 1v1s. Pac-Land's issue is the auto-scroll and the extremely small blast zones. At this point, it just becomes fight to outrun this auto-scroll instead of fighting your opponent. I mean, in my footage, the Pac-Man dies just because of the auto-scroll. I didn't even have to hit him. It also doesn't help that I'm not a big fan of the art style either. 75M, one of the worst stages in Brawl. So did they do anything to fix it?
No.
This stage is way too big, but at the same time, every single platform is way too small to fight on, and the only one that is big enough, the one at the top, is ruined by Donkey Kong throwing springs which do a lot of knockbacks and will easily lead to death if you aren't careful. The stage is just awful in pretty much every way, however, it could still get worse. The Great Cave Offensive. I think this stage is unanimously thought to be the worst Smash 4 stage. This stage is way too big and is riddled with traps everywhere. Oftentimes, you'll take more damage from the environment than damage from your opponent. Since this is a cave, and it's far away from the blast zones and there's not really easy access to it, they had to think of some ways to be able to get KOs. So they added in lava everywhere that kills you at 100%, which is way too early, especially with how often you run into it. If you get hit at that percent, you're basically dead, because you'll be bouncing everywhere until you hit the lava. This stage is just unredeemable and is definitely deserving of this #1 spot. Hopefully all these stages get improved in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it seems like that might be the case, because many people have reported there being a boss toggle, which would definitely improve stages like Wily Castle. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like or tell me what you thought in the comments. Subscribe for more content like this. All music is linked in the description. And one more thing before we go. Comment F to pay your respects to Waluigi.